Hey there, friends. Picture this. You come home, super excited to make your favorite guacamole or top off your salad with that beautiful green fruit. Yes, I'm talking about the beloved avocado. You slice it open, and boom, brown spots, weird fibers, or that not-so-Instagrammable color staring back at you. Have you ever thrown out an avocado right away just because it looked a little off? Well, if you're nodding or feeling secretly guilty, you're not alone. But guess what? Those dark spots aren't always a ticket to the trash. In fact, you might be wasting precious flavor, nutrients, and believe it or not, a whole lot of environmental resources by tossing it too quickly. Let me share something personal. I once had a massive avocado disaster at a family barbecue. I was so proud of my world-famous guacamole recipe that I insisted on making a huge bowl of it for everyone. I grabbed a few avocados that looked perfect on the outside, nice and firm, just a bit of give. But when I opened them, oh my goodness, they had these brownish streaks running through the flesh. My reaction? Pure panic. I thought, that's it. My guac is ruined. The barbecue is ruined. And my reputation as an avocado enthusiast is ruined. In desperation, I actually started scooping out what I thought were the bad parts, only to realize later that they were just harmless fibers. I'm not going to lie, I ended up throwing away a lot of perfectly edible avocado flesh that day. Flesh that took a huge amount of water and care to grow. Looking back, I wish I'd known then what I'm about to share with you now. So let's get right into it. First things first, avocados are real nutritional powerhouses. They're packed with healthy monounsaturated fats, the kind that makes your heart sing. They offer a great dose of fiber, which keeps your digestion on track. And they come loaded with vitamins like K, B vitamins, you name it. One of the coolest things about avocados is how they help your body absorb even more nutrients from other foods. If you've got a big salad with carrots or bell peppers, the healthy fats in avocados can actually help absorb the fat-soluble vitamins in those veggies, like vitamins A, D, E, and K much better. It's almost as if the avocado is that friend who not only brings amazing snacks to the party, but also makes sure everyone else's contributions become tastier and more enjoyable. Now, let's tackle the brown spots. You might be asking, why in the world does my avocado turn brown so fast? Or what are those weird dark fibers inside? The answer is often oxidation, or something called vascular leaching. Don't worry if that sounds complicated. It's basically just a fancy way of saying that the avocado's internal channels, which carry nutrients and water, can get stressed out by cold temperatures or rough handling. Maybe you stuck your avocado in the fridge too early, or maybe it got jostled around during shipping. The enzymes inside the fruit react to that stress, creating brown pigments in certain areas. Or, if you leave an open avocado out in the air for a while, it naturally starts to oxidize, turning that top layer brown. The big takeaway is that brown color doesn't always mean it's spoiled. If it smells fine, tastes fine, and the texture isn't rotten or slimy, it's usually still good to eat. You could cut away the spots, or in many cases just mix them in with a dash of lemon or lime juice, and you're golden, literally and figuratively. I'll give you another little anecdote. My buddy Sam loves to invite people over for taco night. He's a taco connoisseur, if that's a thing. And he once opened an avocado that had a giant brown patch in the middle. In a moment of panic, he trashed the whole fruit. When I asked him why, he said, "Dude, it looked gross." But the truth is, after we cut around that patch to inspect it, the rest of the avocado was totally fine. We lost an entire fruit because of one dark area. Now Sam knows. If there's just one unsightly spot, you can remove it, or maybe even mash it in if it's just a little oxidation. No need to commit to avocado side. Speaking of smashing avocados, guacamole fans will appreciate this tip. If you're making guac and you don't like the look of any browned bits, just scoop them out or mash them in thoroughly with some citrus juice. Lemon or lime are classic. The acidity slows down the browning process and can keep your guacamole looking fresh and green for longer. Some people even put the avocado pit back into the bowl of guac, believing it helps keep it from browning. I'm not sure if that's more of a myth or a real thing, but hey, it certainly can't hurt if you don't mind fishing the pit out before serving. Have you tried that trick before? Let me know in the comments if it actually works for you. Now let's talk about the cost of growing avocados, because that's a big deal. Avocados need a lot of water. Some say up to 50 liters for just one fruit. That's pretty staggering, especially if you think of areas where water is scarce or where droughts are common, like parts of California, Chile, or Mexico. Tossing away half an avocado because of a minor brown spot is basically throwing away all the water, time, and effort that went into growing it. And that's not to mention the environmental footprint of transporting the fruit, keeping it fresh, and storing it in shops. So if you care about living more sustainably and saving a bit of money in the process, it's a good idea to use as much of each avocado as you can. Let's take a moment to reflect on something else, the social aspect of avocado farming. In some regions, particularly in Mexico, the avocado industry has become so profitable that it's attracted unwanted attention from criminal organizations. You might have heard the term blood avocados. Unfortunately, some farms face extortion from cartels. It's a heartbreaking situation, and it adds another layer to why we should respect the fruit and not waste it. Each avocado has its own story. Farmers poured their resources, their dedication, and sometimes even took risks to get it to our grocery shelves. The least we can do is not throw it away the second it shows a little blemish. I get it, though. Sometimes you open an avocado, and the spots look a little freaky. Maybe you're about to wow your friends on social media with a perfect avocado rose, if you're the artistic type, and you see those brown streaks messing up your masterpiece. But you know what? Unless you're seriously competing for the prettiest food photo, it's still going to taste delicious. And if it bothers you, there are plenty of recipes. Smoothies, desserts, dips, where the appearance won't matter much at all. Do you have a favorite avocado recipe where nobody even notices if there's a little discoloration? Let me know. I'm always down to try something new. Speaking of recipes, let me share a quick story about avocado brownies. Yes, avocado brownies. The first time someone told me about them, I thought they were joking. But I tried them anyway. And they were surprisingly good. Rich, moist, and full of that fudgy texture we all love. The avocado basically replaces some of the butter or oil, giving a healthier twist. If you spot a few brown bits in your fruit, guess what? Nobody will know once it's all blended into the brownie batter. It's a fantastic way to use up an avocado that isn't Insta-perfect. And seriously, avocado brownies can fool even the biggest chocolate purists if you do it right. Now, aside from the brown spots caused by oxidation, there's also this fiber phenomenon where you see these darker, stringy bits inside. Picture the avocado as having tiny blood vessels that transport nutrients. When the avocado undergoes stress, maybe extreme cold or impact, enzymes can interact with the fats, leading to these darker patches or strings. It's kind of like the fruit's way of showing bruises or stress marks, but like I said earlier, it's usually harmless. If the texture or taste puts you off, remove the parts you don't like. Otherwise, mash it up. Make a smoothie, or toss it in a salad where those fibers won't even be noticeable. One thing people often ask me is whether these dark fibers change the taste drastically. Well, it depends. In most cases, the difference is minimal. Sometimes you might notice a hint of bitterness in certain spots, but once it's mixed with lime juice, spices, or other ingredients, it's barely there. Honestly, the only time I'd say, nope, can't eat that, is if it has an actual off smell, like sour or fermented Or if it feels slimy or has mold, that's when you know it's truly gone bad. Otherwise, a bit of brown color isn't the end of the world. And let's talk about fiber for a second, because avocado fiber is really cool. Unlike many fruits and veggies that have one predominant type of fiber, avocados happen to contain both soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber helps regulate things like cholesterol and blood sugar, while insoluble fiber is like the broom that sweeps through your digestive tract, keeping everything moving. So, with avocados, you're essentially getting a 2-for-1 deal that can really support your gut health. How amazing is that? Before we wrap up, I want to give you a couple of quick storage tips to help reduce the chances of running into these browning issues. First, if your avocado is rock hard when you buy it, leave it out on the counter until it starts to soften slightly. Once it's almost at your preferred ripeness, you can pop it in the fridge to slow the ripening process, especially if you're not planning on using it right away. That way, you won't end up with a completely mushy avocado when you finally decide to eat it. Also, try not to handle your avocados too roughly. Believe it or not, a few bumps can trigger internal bruising, which leads to those dark areas. If you've ever had a friend who squeezes every single avocado at the store, gently remind them that avocados have feelings too, or at least that their delicate insides do. Now I'm curious, have you ever done something dramatic like throwing away a whole avocado just because a quarter of it was dark? Or maybe you've tried some wild hack to keep it green? I'd love to hear about it. One of my relatives once stored her half-eaten avocado by pressing plastic wrap directly onto the surface to minimize air exposure, and then tossed in a few onion slices. She swears it helps keep it fresher and greener. Have you tried the onion trick? Did it work? Let's swap tips in the comments. Remember, the main point here is not to freak out the moment you see a little browning. We live in a world where food waste is a massive problem, and avocados in particular are resource intensive. So if you open one and see some discoloration, give it a second chance. Check the smell, taste a small bit, and if it's still good, find a recipe or method to use it. A quick drizzle of lemon juice, a mashup in a dip, or a blend in a smoothie can do wonders. It's not just about saving money. It's about respecting the time, water, and care that went into producing that avocado and being a little kinder to our planet in the process. All right, my fellow avocado lovers, and even those who are just curious, that's my rant. I mean passionate speech about why you should think twice before throwing away that slightly brown avocado. If you've made it all the way here, you're a real hero of the fruit world. Comment avocado down below so I know who's rocking with me till the end. And hey, if you're still in the mood for more tips or you want some recipe inspiration, be sure to check out the next video that's popping up on your screen. I've got plenty more stories, mishaps, and hacks to share with you. In the meantime, go forth, rescue those avocados, and enjoy every creamy bite they have to offer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and remember, brown spots don't always mean goodbye. Sometimes they just mean you're about to discover an even more creative way to enjoy that awesome fruit. See you soon.